الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا قيما لينذر بأسا شديدا من لدنه ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا حسنا ماكثين فيه أبدا وينذر الذين قالوا اتخذ الله ولدا ما لهم به من علم ولا لآبائهم كبرت كلمة تخرج من أفواههم إن يقولون إلا كذبا فلعلك باخع نفسك على آثارهم إن لم يؤمنوا بهذا الحديث أسفا إنا جعلنا ما على الأرض زينة لها لنبلوهم أيهم أحسن عملا وإنا لجاعلون ما عليها صعيدا جرزا أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا فضربنا على آذانهم في الكهف سنين عددا ثم بعثناهم لنعلم أي الحزبين أحصى لما لبثوا أمدا نحن نقص عليك نبأهم بالحق إنهم فتية آمنوا بربهم وزدناهم هدى وربطنا على قلوبهم إذ قاموا فقالوا ربنا رب السماوات والأرض لن ندعو من دونه إذا شططا هؤلاء قوم اتخذوا من دونه آلهة لولا يأتون عليهم بسلطان بين فمن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا وإذا اعتزلتموهم وما يعبدون إلا الله فأووا إلى الكهف ينشر لكم ربكم من رحمته ويهيئ لكم من أمركم مرفقا وترى الشمس إذا طلعت تزاور عن كهفهم ذات اليمين وإذا غربت تغربهم ذات الشمال وهم في فجوة منه ذلك من آيات الله من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وتحسبهم أيقاظا وهم رقود ونقلبهم ذات اليمين وذات الشمال وكلبهم باسط ذراعيه بالوصيد لو اطلعت عليهم لوليت منهم فرارا ولملئت منهم رعبا وكذلك بعثناهم ليتساءلوا بينهم قال قائل منهم كم لبثتم قالوا لبثنا يوما أو بعض يوم قالوا ربكم أعلم بما لبثتم فبعثوا أحدكم بورقكم هذه إلى المدينة فلينظر أيها أزكى طعاما فليأتكم برزق منه وليتلطف ولا يشعرن بكم أحدا إنهم إن يظهروا عليكم يرجموكم أو يعيدوكم في ملتهم ولن تفلحوا إذا أبدا وكذلك أعثرنا عليهم ليعلموا أنه حق وأن الساعة لا ريب فيها إذ يتنازعون بينهم أمرهم فقالوا ابنوا عليهم بنيانا ربهم أعلم بهم قال الذين غلبوا على أمرهم لنتخذن عليهم مسجدا سيقولون ثلاثة رابعهم كلبهم ويقولون خمسة سادسهم كلبهم رجما بالغيب ويقولون سبعة وثامنهم كلبهم قل ربي أعلم بعدتهم ما يعلمهم إلا قليل فلا تمار فيهم إلا مراء ظاهرا ولا تستفت فيهم منهم أحدا ولا تقولن لشيء إني فاعل ذلك غدا إلا أن يشاء الله واذكر ربك إذا نسيت وقل عسى أن يهديني ربي لأقرب من هذا رشدا ولبثوا في كهفهم 300 سنين وازدادوا 9. For those of you who like to follow along, we're currently on verse 26 of Surah Al-Kahf. This is chapter 18, verse 26. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قل الله أعلم بما لبثوا له غيب السماوات والأرض أبصر به وأسمع ما لهم من دونه من ولي ولا يشرك في حكمه أحدا واتل ما أوحي إليك من كتاب ربك لا مبدل لكلماته ولن تجد من دونه ملتحدا واصبر نفسك مع الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه ولا تعد عيناك عنهم تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا ولا تطع من أغفلنا قلبه واتبع هواه وكان أمره فرطا وقل الحق من ربكم فمن شاء فليؤمن ومن شاء فليكفر إنا أعتدنا للظالمين نارا أحاط بهم سرادقها وإن يستغيثوا يغاثوا بماء كالمهل يشوي الوجوه بئس الشراب وساءت مرتفقا إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات إنا لا نضيع أجر من أحسن عملا أولئك لهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتهم الأنهار يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ويلبسون ثيابا خضرا من سندس واستبرق متكئين فيها على الأرائك نعم الثواب وحسنت مرتفقا واضرب لهم مثل الرجلين جعلنا لأحدهما جنتين من أعناب وحففناهما بنخل وجعلنا بينهما زرعا كلتا الجنتين آتت أكلها ولم تظلم منه شيئا وفجرنا خلالهما نهرا وكان له ثمر فقال لصاحبه وهو يحاوره أنا أكثر منك مالا وأعز نفرا ودخل جنته وهو ظالم لنفسه قال ما أن تبيد هذه أبدا وما أظن الساعة قائمة ولئن رددت إلى ربي لأجدن خيرا منها منقلبا قال له صاحبه وهو يحاوره أكفرت بالذي خلقك من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم سواك رجلا لكن هو الله ربي ولا أشرك بربي أحدا ولولا إذ دخلت جنتك قلت ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله إن ترني أنا أقل منك مالا وولدا فعسى ربي أن يؤتيني خيرا من جنتك ويرسل عليها حسبانا من السماء فتصبح صعيدا زلقا أو يصبح ماؤها غورا فلن تستطيع له طلبا وأحيط بثمره فأصبح يقلب كفيه على ما أنفق فيها وهي خاوية على عروشها ويقول يا ليتني لم أشرك بربي أحدا ولم تكن له فئة ينصرونه من دون الله وما كان منتصرا لله الحق هو خير ثوابا وخير عقبا واضرب لهم مثل الحياة الدنيا كماء إن أنزلناه من السماء فاختلط به نبات الأرض فأصبح هشيما تذروه الرياح وكان الله على كل شيء مقتدرا المال والبنون زينة الحياة الدنيا والباقيات الصالحات خير عند ربك ثوابا وخير أملا ويوم نسير الجبال وترى الأرض بارزة وحشرناهم فلم نغادر منهم أحدا وعرضوا على ربك صفا لقد جئتمونا كما خلقناكم أول مرة بل زعمتم أن لن نجعل لكم موعدا ووضع الكتاب فترى المجرمين مشفقين مما فيه ويقولون يا ويلتنا ما لهذا الكتاب لا يغادر صغيرة ولا كبيرة إلا أحصاها ووجدوا ما عملوا يظلم ربك أحدا. For those of you who are joining us, we're currently on verse number 50 of Surah Al-Kahf. This is chapter 18, verse number 50. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذ قلنا للملائكة اسجدوا لآدم فسجدوا إلا إبليس كان من الجن ففسق عن أمر ربه أفتتخذونه وذريته أولياء من دوني وهم لكم عدو بئس للظالمين بدلا ما أشهدتهم خلق السماوات والأرض ولا خلق أنفسهم وما كنت متخذ المضلين عضدا ويوم يقول نادوا شركائي الذين زعمتم فادعوهم فلم يستجيبوا لهم وجعلنا بينهم موبقا ورأى المجرمون النار فظنوا أنهم مواقعوها ولم يجدوا عنها مصرفا ولقد صرفنا في هذا القرآن للناس من كل مثل وكان الإنسان أكثر شيء جدلا وما منع الناس أن يؤمنوا إذ جاءهم الهدى ويستغفروا ربهم إلا سنة الأولين أو يأتيهم العذاب قبلا وما نرسل المرسلين إلا مبشرين ومنذرين ويجادل الذين كفروا بالباطل ليدحضوا به الحق واتخذوا آياتي وما أنذروا هزوا ومن أظلم ممن ذكر بآيات ربه فأعرض عنها ونسي ما قدمت يداه إنا جعلنا على قلوبهم أكنة أن يفقهوه وفي آذانهم وقرا وإن تدعوهم إلى الهدى فلن يهتدوا إذن أبدا وربك الغفور ذو الرحمة لو يؤاخذهم بما كسبوا لعجل لهم العذاب بل لهم موعد لن يجدوا من دونه موئلا وتلك القرى أهلكناهم لما ظلموا وجعلنا لمهلكهم موعدا وإذ قال موسى لفتاه لا أبرح حتى أبلغ مجمع البحرين أو أمضي حقبا فلما بلغا مجمع بينهما نسيا حوتهما فاتخذ سبيله في البحر سربا فلما جاوزا قال لفتاه آتنا غداءنا لقد لقينا من سفرنا هذا نصبا قال أرأيت إذ أوينا إلى الصخرة فإني نسيت الحوت وما أنسانيه إلا الشيطان أن أذكره واتخذ سبيله في البحر عجبا قال ذلك ما كنا نبغي فارتدا على آثارهما قصصا فوجدا عبدا من عبادنا آتيناه رحمة من عندنا وعلمناه من لدنا علما قال له موسى هل أتبعك على أن تعلمني مما علمت رشدا قال إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا وكيف تصبر على ما لم تحط به خبرا قال ستجدني إن شاء الله صابرا ولا أعصي لك أمرا قال فإن اتبعتني قال لا تسألني عن شيء حتى أحدث لك منه ذكرا. فانطلقا حتى إذا ركبا في السفينة خرقها قال أخرقتها لتغرق أهلها لقد جئت شيئا إمرا. قال ألم أقل إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا. قال لا تؤاخذني بما نسيت ولا ترهقني من أمري عسرا. فانطلقا حتى إذا لقيا غلاما فقتله قال أقتلت نفسا زكية بغير نفس لقد جئت شيئا نكرا. For those of you who are joining us, we're currently on verse number 75. This is chapter 18, Surah Al-Kahf, verse number 75. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان. قال ألم أقل لك إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا. قال إن سألتك عن شيء بعدها فلا تصاحبني قد بلغت من لدني عذرا. فانطلقا حتى إذا أتيا أهل قرية استطعما أهلها فأبوا أن يضيفوهما فوجدا فيها جدارا يريد أن ينقض فأقامه. قال لو شئت لاتخذت عليه أجرا. قال هذا فراق بيني وبينك سأنبئك بتأويل ما لم تستطع عليه صبرا. أما السفينة فكانت لمساكين يعملون في البحر فأردت أن أعيبها وكان وراءهم ملك يأخذ كل سفينة غصبا. وأما الغلام فكان أبواه مؤمنين فخشينا أن يرهقهما طغيانا وكفرا فأردنا أن يبدلهما ربهما خيرا منه زكاة وأقرب رحما. وأما الجدار فكان لغلامين يتيمين في المدينة وكان تحته كنز لهما وكان أبوهما صالحا فأراد ربك أن يبلغا أشدهما ويستخرجا كنزهما رحمة من ربك وما فعلته عن أمري ذلك تأويل ما لم تسطع عليه صبرا. ويسألونك عن ذي القرنين قل سأتلو عليكم منه ذكرا. إنا مكنا له في الأرض وآتيناه من كل شيء سببا فأتبع سببا حتى إذا بلغ مغرب الشمس وجدها تغرب في عين حمئة ووجد عندها قوما. قلنا يا ذا القرنين إما أن تعذب وإما أن تتخذ فيهم حسنا. قال أما من ظلم فسوف نعذبه ثم يرد إلى ربه فيعذبه عذابا نكرا. وأما من آمن وعمل صالحا فله جزاء الحسنى وسنقول له من أمرنا يسرا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ثم أتبع حتى إذا بلغ مطلع الشمس وجدها تطلع على قوم لم نجعل لهم من دونها سترا كذلك وقد أحطنا بما لديه خبرا. ثم أتبع سببا حتى إذا بلغ بين السدين وجد من دونهما قوما لا يكادون يفقهون قولا. قالوا يا ذا القرنين إن يأجوج ومأجوج مفسدون في الأرض فهل نجعل لك خرجا على أن تجعل بيننا وبينهم سدا. قال ما مكني فيه ربي خير فأعينوني بقوة أجعل بينكم وبينهم ردما. آتوني زبر الحديد حتى إذا ساوى بين الصدفين قال انفخوا حتى إذا جعله نارا قال آتوني أفرغ عليه قطرا. فما استطاعوا أن يظهروه وما استطاعوا له نقبا. قال هذا رحمة من ربي وعد ربي جعله دكا وكان وعد ربي حقا وتركنا بعضهم يومئذ يموج في بعض ونفخ في الصور فجمعناهم جمعا وعرضنا جهنم يومئذ للكافرين عرضا. For those of you who are joining us, we're currently in the last 10 verses. We're starting with verse 101 of Surah Al-Kahf. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الذين كانت أعينهم في غطاء عن ذكري وكانوا لا يستطيعون سمعا أفحسب الذين كفروا أن يتخذوا عبادي من دوني أولياء إنا أعتدنا جهنم للكافرين نزلا. قل هل ننبئكم بالأخسرين أعمالا الذين ضل سعيهم في الحياة الدنيا وهم يحسبون أنهم يحسنون صنعا أولئك الذين كفروا بآيات ربهم ولقائه فحبطت أعمالهم فلا نقيم لهم يوم القيامة وزنا ذلك جزاؤهم جهنم بما كفروا واتخذوا آياتي ورسلي هزوا إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات كانت لهم جنات الفردوس نزلا خالدين فيها لا يبغون عنها حولا. قل لو كان البحر مدادا لكلمات ربي لنفد البحر قبل أن تنفد كلمات ربي ولو جئنا بمثله مددا. قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فمن كان يرجو لقاء ربه فليعمل عملا صالحا ولا يشرك بعبادة ربه أحدا. صدق الله العظيم.
We have more guests coming. Let's make it tight. Use the space. Use the gap. We have more people coming. Let's organize this.
Back. Is it okay?
The live stream on.
Can everyone please move up and move in just to make room for people who are going to be joining us?
Yeah. No. No, it's
Sound like you're going to the left. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح
لا حول ولا
حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر
الله
لا إله إلا الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the universe, the Master of the Day of Judgment. I bear witness and testimony to the oneness of Allah, to His magnificence, His omnipotence, His might, His glory, to His being the creator and sustainer of all things, the giver of life, the guider of hearts, the master of the Day of Judgment. And I bear witness to the fact that Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is His servant and final messenger. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him and upon all those who choose to tread in his path until the last day. It is said that on one occasion, the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam was seen walking with his grandson upon his shoulders. And Al-Bara radiallahu anh, he narrates to us the hadith, and he says that he saw the Prophet walking with his grandson upon his shoulders, and as he is walking, he is making dua, he is praying to Allah Azza wa Jal, God Almighty, that Ya Allah, love him as I love him. If Al-Bara radiallahu anh could hear the Prophet saying that he loved his grandson, and you and I, 14 centuries later, know and understood that the Prophet said that he loved his grandchild, the most assuredly, the Prophet's grandson understood that his grandfather loved him. We find ourselves in most auspicious days. May Allah make us from amongst those who are enriched by this month of Muharram. And the opportunity for us to be able to gain from them necessitates us reflecting individually upon what it is that we hope to yield from the days that we find ourselves in and those that will be coming down the line. That there is so much that we find within our tradition more broadly that speaks to the importance of this month. Narrations that tell us that in our calendar year of the 12 months that exist on the Islamic calendar, 4 are known to be from amongst the most sacred. Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, Muharram, and then Rajab, standing on its own. And you can see that there's a process and an understanding of how the month that precedes the month of Hajj would have sanctity to it, and the month of Hajj itself would have sanctity to it. Literally, the month of Muharram, its name itself means the one that is made sacred. And depictions that are given to us of the exodus of the children of Israel, as they, under the guidance of Moses, peace be upon him, spoke out against the Pharaonic tyranny. Narrations that speak to us of realities attached to Nuh alayhi salam and Isa alayhi salam and so many other things, Adam alayhi salam, some that are deemed to be deeply verified and some that are just mentioned in the books but not as authentic. But amongst all of those things, if we were to reflect and understand, even on a common thread to them, in this month of Muharram, we find within our history of our tradition the deep tragedy and an ultimate display of how darkness is combated by true light in the notions and narratives of Karbala, where we know and we recognize utter disregard towards the family of the Prophet of God. May Allah's peace be upon all of them. A unifying factor can come to us through reflections upon that occurrence. Because there is not a Muslim in the world, whether they are Sunni or Shia, within each different interpretations of law and theology, that would tell you that anyone sides with those who dared to kill the Prophet's family. That polemics aside, our own arrogances aside, the things that make us see why someone else is worse, or even more importantly, why we believe that we are better than others, bringing it back to its most base reality, that the grandson of the Prophet of God, on that day, standing in terms of everything he believed in, would not allow for him to be other than a witness to a world that was much greater than this one. And you and I have to understand whether this world allows for us to be the Muslims we want to be or not, to exert a value-driven consciousness, to have a moral compass that is actively and purposefully, deliberately motivated and moved by a strong sense of ethics. Whether we allow for ourselves to recognize how it is that we spend the days of the months of the years that have been allocated to us, and if we were to assess the decisions that we made, not in our lives in their entirety, not even in the last month or week, but just since this morning started, what was it that made us do the things that we did? Would we find honor and integrity, real love and compassion, justice as the instigator and motivator of any of those deeds? Did I roll out of my bed this morning in pursuit of the material? Was my desire to have my physical self be what was quenched of its thirst? Did I wake up and say that today will be yet another day through which I live a life that transcends some of these superficialities and moves in a direction towards which I know that there's a world that is much bigger than this? Can we have everyone please move up and move in? If you could fill in all the gaps and spaces, we can move in towards the windows as well, because there'll be a lot of people who are joining us. So as much space as we utilize and fill up, we appreciate it. We have opportunity for deep reflection. The world in and of itself is always giving us that opportunity to understand. And you can understand that ultimately there will be darkness, but there has to be light, even for at times that darkness to exist. Where we find ourselves, and the Quran speaks to us about the existence of shadows, and it talks to us about nur in the face of those shadows. And it tells us that where there's opportunity for us to now not just be drawn to the nation itself, to go out and say that what it is that motivates me and moves me and compels me. And you got to understand, and I say it to you with love, because I know we have a community that's quite diverse, but most of you who sit in this gathering in front of me practice a Sunni Islam. And a lot of us as Sunni Muslims don't gain the deep appreciation that we could for the love of the maybe Allah's choicest peace and blessings be upon all of them. We engage in narrative that's heavily influenced by geopolitical realities, not by traditional and spiritual realities. Doctrines and texts that have been pushed in order for perspectives and fears to be constructed that keep people away from each other. And in our tradition, you have narrations that say that the unity of the community is of the utmost importance. And the gains are just so remarkable. In the aftermath of the passing of the best of creation, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where authority, as much as we would like to say on one side or the other, was given definitively, if it was, then there wouldn't be confusion about it. And people went with the ones that they went with. The idea is to not get lost in polemics, but to be able to understand that we get to the critical juncture where the moment came and the Prophet, pleased with him, stood up in defiance of a ruler who was not qualified to be a ruler. That a man known as Yazid, the son of Muawiyah, in this new dynastic model of authority that was interjected into the Muslim world, known for having within Sunni texts deep habits of alcoholism, that his court was filled with, literally the descriptions say, monkeys that were wearing gold crowns. The authority is given to him. Many people say that he is not one that should be ruling us. The Prophet's grandson was from amongst those who did not think that this man was fit to be in charge, because a leader in our understanding is one that exemplifies good character and virtue. A person that you just don't follow because they've been given a title to be followed, but they are the ones who have ability to be followed. And so the Prophet's grandson, he goes from Medina to Mecca, and the people of Kufa, they say, come to us. We are also of the same inclination. And when he gets there, the people, they say that our hearts are with you, but our swords are not with you. And for 3 tragic days, the Prophet's family finds themselves cut off from water. Men and women treated with utter disregard. You gotta understand, man. Our Prophet, he would let his grandchildren onto his back while he was in prostration, not moving so as to not disturb them. He would play games with them, display such affection for them. The love that he had for them was unlike anything. You can't be in a place where you have full recognition of a complete love of the Prophet of God and say that that love does not extend to those that come after him. Many of you have a care for me, and I'm grateful to God for it every day. And I know many of you know the names of my babies, my son and my daughter, and even if you don't know them so well, I know that you have a love for them to a certain extent, at least some of you do. Because the love we have for each other, it extends to others that are beloved to us. These were individuals who dared to not just use words, slurs, but literally take the lives. This is the grandson of the Prophet of God. And some of us deprive ourselves of understanding that, because we can't get over the fact that Islam is big enough to include Sunnis and Shias. Or we hesitate when we hear stories because we say, well, is that really what we're supposed to be listening to? What do you need to listen to? What are you trying to understand? And the importance of it is not meant to be lost upon us, because then the meaning that can be from there, which is so deep, individuals that are so attached to dunya, their pursuit is nothing less than this world. They're so engaged in the darkness of the self, the tyranny of is in control, that literally without any sense of anything, they go to the extent of killing the Prophet's grandson. Can you imagine? But in the midst of that darkness, you see also the epitome of light and virtue. We're knowing what it is that is ahead of him. Being shaheed in the truest sense of the word. Witness to what real value is, real ethics is. A life that's worth living because you know what you're able to give it up for is something that's actually worth it. The Prophet's grandson, not with an absence of dignity, but with the highest level of dignity, stands on that plane and says that your darkness will never, ever overcome the light that we follow. And why all of us need that is because we all have to recognize what it is that we're living for. What is it that you get up for every day? What is it that you give your strength and your energy for? What is it that you give your time for? What is the purpose that you're seeking to gain? You turn histories and narratives into weapons against each other so that individuals that can capitalize on us being separate from one another continue to get their self-interest gain until we have nothing other than what it is that we have. But what do you really have if you don't have value? What do you really have if you don't have beauty and excellence inwardly and outwardly? What do you have if you have greed and selfishness? You have money, so what? What does it mean if you have to compromise on your sense of ethics? You got a good grade, a degree? What does it mean if you had to look down at somebody for it? What does it mean if somebody else had to live a terrible life so that you could live the life that you have? And in that moment, the Prophet's grandson is standing for everything that is right. To say that we're not going to give it up without trying our very best. And these are moments where we have to reflect upon it. In the Sunni tradition, we fast on the 10th of Muharram, the day of Ashura. And it's not a fast that's just for the sake of it. The Shia community, they don't even eat anything all day. But the notion about the deprivation of food is to not bring hunger to your stomach. When we fast, it's about just getting away from the world, that you don't have to be thinking about things that are just of the dunya. Leave that distraction alone. The day is more important than food and drink. It's about reflection and contemplation, understanding, spiritual upliftment, celestial growth. Leave the food. What's it going to do for you? That's not where you draw your strength from on that day. Fast in that way. In a way where it's about moving your heart. Read the prophetic biography. Read the stories of Karbala. Understand the tragedies that are there, but also take from the beauty of the example of the Prophet's family. You can go to parts of the Sunni Muslim world in these 10 days, and the masjids are filled with people reciting poetry that relives the days of Karbala. People who know Islam inside and out, doing the same marsiyah, the same lamentations, because it's not sectarian specific. When you're a Muslim, in the bigger sense of the word, you believe in God, and you believe in the finality of the Prophet of God, and then you branch down into theologies that Shia, but nobody gets to say that one owns the Prophet more than the other. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And being in a place where I'd also take the opportunity to tell you, as my brothers and sisters, that our community is a little bit different from others. We do provide space to many in a way that caters to diverse perspectives. And I need for you all to listen, because I'm Sunni, and I know that I am. Not just because I was born into it, but because I've thought about it. But as a Sunni Muslim, I could tell you that even as a marginalized community of Muslims, I still have more privilege than my Shia brothers and sisters do in most spaces. And I need for our community to be the community that does it differently. Because even where people don't understand our religion, when you go to most presentations, the theology and law that is taught is a Sunni version of it. 5 pillars of Islam, that's not a Shia concept. School, when you're talking about Islam, that's what's taught. When you go into most colleges, most universities, MSAs tend to be not only Sunni dominated, but South Asian dominated. And if you've ever been marginalized in your experience based off of race and ethnicity, which I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put struggles in competition with each other, but understand also. So I'd like for our community to be the community that when Maghrib comes and you see people praying with the turba a little bit later than you might pray, that you don't exclaim, "Are they Shia?" Yes, they are Shia. They are. If it's something you're not used to, the immediate reaction doesn't have to be one of what is done to us constantly, where unfamiliarity leads to condescension. You don't want to pray behind somebody? Don't pray behind them. That's okay. That's not what we're talking about. But your sense of validation doesn't have to stem from the fact that everybody does it exactly like you. And you break away from some of the cultural mindsets, some of the geopolitical realities that have given you a sense that this beauty of Islam, that you do it. And even if somebody else's way is different from yours, doesn't mean that they have to be wrong in order for you to be right. If you and I were to sit down and write out on a sheet of paper 5 things that identify us for who we are. I am Muslim, I am Imam, I am chaplain, I am father, I am son, I am husband, I am brother. I can go into all kinds of variables. I am brown-eyed, I am brown-haired, I am short. And you know I'm short. For many of us, the way this society works, for example, to give you an idea, you might write down you're Muslim, you're South Asian, etc. You're black, you're brown. If you're white, likely you won't write down that you're white. Not because you're not white, but a lot of the way we identify ourselves is not through internal mechanisms, but the way society imposes upon us through how they see us. And so some people don't have to always see themselves for who they are in certain ways, the way other communities do. In that same frame, many of us who are Sunni would not write down Sunni, we would just write down Muslim. But many of us who are Shia would write down Shia because we are constantly thrown in our faces that variable of who we are based off of principles of exclusion. Have compassion in what you do. Have mercy and understanding in what you do. Have love in what you do. If you don't know something about someone, go learn it from them, not perceived ideas and misconceptions of them. Within the Ummah, there are many different people that will come about. 70 different groups, the Prophet ﷺ says, and even if the hadith says that one will be on the right way, the premise of the hadith is that all of them are in the Ummah. And the ones who are deprived the most, man, are you and I. Because we turn experienced teachers and leaders of generations in the past that are meant to give us guidance for how we can take on the difficulties of the world that's in front of us with honor, respect, real izzah, to mechanisms of hurting one another. Nobody's saying you have to turn into something that you don't want to be. But the you that you are doesn't have to become something that makes somebody else believe that they also aren't entitled to be who it is that they are. On our staff, Sheikh Fayaz Jafar was an amazingly beautiful man. May Allah preserve him always. To give you insight, in his undergrad, the university, in his early days as a Shia Muslim, went to pray Jummah in a gathering like this. And when he sat down, people came up to him and said to him that you can't pray with us because you are Shia and you are Nijis and you make our entire congregation dirty. Can you imagine somebody having the audacity to say that to you? And he spent much of his career as an undergrad just praying on his own because they told him, you can't pray with us. That's why you have to go and be in a place where you do it differently. The darkness will only balance itself out when we bring light. The injustice will stop when we start to take care of our own houses and homes. And where we are in a space where we have opportunity to do it that much better and set precedent, necessitates starting where we can draw value from the lessons of Karbala, where the Prophet's grandson shows us that he is built upon a sense of self that knows what it is that dictates his decision making. Before I sit, I would say in specific to my young brothers and young sisters who are sitting in this Jummah, you gotta start taking advantage of the time that's given to you. And use these days to really understand why it is that you do the things that you do. And the amount of hours that you sit and spend, not in pursuit of wrong, in comparison to pursuit of right, but in pursuit of nothing, and just futility. It takes away from us the gain and blessing that is uniquely you. Put a little bit of purpose behind what it is that you're doing. And make time for your heart so that in your actions you find the manifestation of that love, that light, that compassion, that mercy, that understanding, that hope that it is that we are seeking and this world is strongly in need of. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله. Just a few announcements before we make dua. For many years, the Islamic Center here has been hosting a Muharram Majlis program that is primarily catering to the Shia community that we're blessed to serve, but many people who are not Shia will attend to just have an opportunity to understand. If you've never been to one, I would encourage you to go to be able to first and foremost quell some of your own misconceptions, but also to gain a sense of support and camaraderie for our brothers and sisters who are Muslim. On Saturday, we're going to be hosting a benefit program as part of the Majlis program here to raise funds towards the services and programs that we provide in Muharram and throughout the year to our Shia community. Many of you in Ramadan, when we had the unfortunate incident of an entire bin of turbas being taken out of the prayer room, some of you might remember that. If not, I can tell you about it in more detail when we have time. And a lot of you asked me afterwards, how do we show support to the Shia community, to Sheikh Fayaz Jafar, when things like that happen? And I would say, well, this is how you show support. You come out on Saturday, and you participate and partake. You learn about what it is that he does here, the programs he offers, and you show with your presence that you actually support somebody, and you understand that even where you're different from him, or different from people we still are brothers and sisters in the bigger sense of the word. And so we have computers that are outside where you can register. It's for free. You can come, be at 6:30 p.m. in this room on Saturday. We'll go for a couple of hours. And I hope, inshallah, that I'll see a lot of you there to participate in the program. On the 10th of Muharram, next Thursday, we will be doing iftar for those who will be fasting on the day of Ashura. The Sunni tradition, the recommendation is to fast the 10th of Muharram and either the day before or the day after. If you also only fast the 10th, that's totally fine. We'll be breaking fast at Jetson Church across the street at 6 p.m. prior to Maghrib. Sheikh Sahib and I will be doing a short reflection, a dars, and a dua. So if you want to join us beforehand, you don't have to come for the lecture, though, to come for iftar. So please be there if you want to join us. During the day of Ashura, starting at around 10 a.m., we'll be having services for the Shia community that'll go till about 1 o'clock. And they'll start with the recommended acts of worship for the day of Ashura as per the Shia tradition, and then continue with a majlis program. So feel free to join in those. And I wanted to remind you all as students who are here that the university has a policy on observance of religious holidays. So if you want to partake in any of those services, and you have classes, exams, whatever during that time that you are looking for an accommodation, please reach out to your professors and let them know, or let me know if they're not listening, and I'll reach out to them. If you're not a student and you work, I'm happy to write to your boss, but I don't think it'll make a difference. Or maybe it will, they'll get scared. Today is the last day for an art exhibit that has been put together by many Muslim artists in our community. They have an organization called Gamma, Gathering Artists of Muslim Association, something like that. But in the 4th floor downstairs, today's the last day of an exhibit that they've set up that's called Sacrifice. It's really remarkable. It's in the room that's right next to our musalla on the 4th floor, so please do stop by and take a look at it if you can. And then we have registration open for our annual Umrah trip. We'll be going from January 3rd to January 12th. Alhamdulillah, for the last few years, we've been able to take about 100 to 200 people with us. We'll be collecting money for financial aid. If you want to sponsor somebody to go for Umrah, please do let us know. Last year, we were able to distribute about $50,000 in financial aid scholarships. And we also have gotten over the years a permission to take women without a mahram to travel in our group. Whatever you can do to help facilitate. But also, if you'd like to join us, feel free. It's open to anyone. Please register soon. The deadline is early November. A few dua requests that we have. Are graduated from here last year as a grad student. His father is in very critical condition in a coma right now and is on life support. He's asked that we make dua for him. Our brother Joshua Khan has also asked that we make dua for his father, who's experiencing severe health issues. Omar Najib, who is a student here, his grandmother is fairly unwell, and he's gone to Egypt to be with her in what he believes are her final moments. And he's asked that we make dua for her. Please make dua that Allah grants them a complete shifa and a quick and easy recovery. Our sister Jamila Clark was one of our community members. She's asked that we make dua for her future father-in-law, Isa, who passed away this week. Please make dua for his maghfirah, that Allah grants him peace and entrance into Jannah without any judgment. And lastly, there's a sister in our community who has asked that we make that just this past week, mashallah, she reached 6 years of sobriety. And she said that she wouldn't have been able to reach that as somebody who's a recovering alcoholic if not for the support of the community that she finds here. So firstly, she said that she wanted me to convey thanks to you all on her behalf. And secondly, she asked that if we can continue to pray for her that Allah continues to surround her with well-meaning and good people as she moves forward in dealing with this struggle in her life. So please make dua for her that Allah makes things easy for her, inshallah. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa fil alamin wa salli wa sallim wa Muhammad ala عفو كريم يا اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين اللهم اجعلنا من المخلصين الله we ask infinite mercy upon this gathering, granting each and every one present in the next. We ask, Ya Allah, that if all of us are to be time, young or old, male or female, regardless of our race, our ethnicity, our social class, our country of origin, our culture, whether we are Muslim or come from a different walk of life, Ya Allah, individual hearts are meant to be in the presence of all of their hearts that are gathered here only times. Then gather us all together again in the best of places in the world beyond this one. Increase us, Ya Allah, in all that is good. Increase us in courage, compassion, and confidence. Protect us from any affliction, anxiety, or anguish. Remove from our hearts any feelings of bitterness, jealousy, animosity, and towards nation. Grant us hearts that are filled with understanding and hope. Hearts that are filled with mercy and compassion. Hearts that are filled with unconditional. Hearts that are on tolerance, for indeed in your remembrance do hearts find rest. We ask, Ya Allah, by the barakah, that you grant only the best in this world and the best in the next to each and every one who is assembled here today. That these men and women have answered the call of the Friday prayer, Ya Rab, write it in our accounts and make it a means of benefit for us in the world beyond this one. And through it, Ya Allah, allow for us to understand our truest of potentials. Let us not leave this world other than in a state that is most pleasing to you. And make us from amongst those who live every day between this day and that day that we leave from this place with a strong sense of purpose and conviction. Make us people of integrity and honesty, people of generosity and courage, people of selflessness, not selfishness, sincerity and never self-centeredness. Make us people who do good and are drawn towards that which is good. Those who speak truth and see truth and spread truth and only truth. And forgive us, Ya Allah, for when we forget, for when we make mistakes, or we do that which is not becoming of us in our humanity. We ask each and every one of us and our loved ones any type of pain. For those who find themselves in any state of disarray, those who are in any state of grief, any state of anxiety, Ya Allah, we ask that you send to them the best of supporters and helpers to help them get through whatever it is that they're going through. We ask, Ya Allah, that you help each one of us to recognize our own potential, to not let this day or any tomorrow that we see pass us by without us doing some good for someone else, simply because it's the right thing to do. Protect us, Ya Rabb, from hearts that are not humble, tongues that are not wise, and eyes that have forgotten how to cry. Forgive us for our shortcomings and guide and bless us all. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Straighten your line shoulder to shoulder, inshallah. Fill the gaps Verily the formation of your sufuf is part of your salah. Keep in mind you're standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so praise if this is your last prayer, inshallah. Also, please take the time to silence any electronic devices that you might have with you, so as to not distract one another during the course of the prayer. You want to leave it? You sure? May Allah accept from us. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. So a reminder, if you can be generous in the sadaqah on the way out, it goes towards our operations and programs. So whatever you can give, inshallah, would be appreciated. So we run everything we do here just on the support of the community. And please do, if you can, just stop at the desks outside. If you're able to join tomorrow for the benefit program for the Majlis. You can RSVP at the laptops right outside, so we get an accurate head count. Assalamu alaikum. Hey, Sharif. Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
What's up, bro?
I miss you, bro.
How'd it go?
I really miss you, bro.
Did you go for Hajj?
I did, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, Hajj Mabrur, inshallah. How was it?
How are you? How was, it was incredible.
It was good.
Yeah, Hajj
Mashallah.
Habib Omar. I want you to meet my younger brother,
Assalamu alaikum.
Hamid
How's it
al-Mashal.
going? Nice to meet you.
He's
Nice
a
to meet
new
you.
student here at NYU.
Oh yeah, mashallah.
I'm very close with his father. And
That's amazing. Where are you studying here?
I'm studying here from the finals
Okay.
until now. I'm taking